Weinstein's facing up to 25 years in prison after a split verdict in his sex crimes retrial. The jury convicted the former movie mogul on one count of engaging in a criminal sex act, but acquitted him on a second count. Now jurors will keep deliberating a third-degree rape charge amid reports of tension and bullying on the jury. ABC's chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky has the latest.
Jurors deciding the fate of disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein are back at it. They have one additional count to decide after rendering a split verdict on two other counts. And this came after a bit of chaos in the deliberation room, with the jury foreman telling the judge that he didn't want to go back in there because people were attacking him and yelling and screaming. The defense sought a mistrial. Harvey Weinstein even addressed the judge directly, saying this wasn't fair to him, that he wasn't getting a fair trial. The judge disagreed, told the jury they needed to cool it and remain civil, and moments later they rendered a split verdict, finding Weinstein guilty of sexually assaulting a one-time production assistant named Mimi Haley back in 2006, but acquitting Weinstein on another charge of sexual assault involving a former model, Kaya Sokolow, who said she was 19 when Harvey Weinstein attacked her in 2006. The jury has so far been unable to reach a verdict on the third count, accusing Harvey Weinstein of raping an aspiring actress named Jessica Mann. The judge told them to come back today and try and render a verdict on that count. Diane?
Aaron Katersky, thank you. And let's bring in attorney Ariva Martin for more on this. Ariva, thanks for coming on. What's your reaction to this split verdict?
I'm not too surprised, Diane, to be honest with you. These cases are very difficult. They involve allegations that happened over a decade ago. And we've seen in other high-profile cases the difficulty of getting a conviction. And we know in Harvey Weinstein's case, his 2020 conviction in Manhattan was overturned because an appellate court determined that the trial judge allowed in evidence that should not have been allowed into that particular case. I'm more shocked in this case by the allegations of jury misconduct. The foreman telling the judge that he felt threatened, that he felt that he was being pressured to change his decision about the verdict. All of this suggesting to me that perhaps we're going to see another appellate court weigh in on this verdict.
Weinstein's also serving time in prison due to a conviction in California. Could this verdict impact that case?
Well, it appears that Mr. Weinstein is going to be in jail for quite some time, not having nothing to do perhaps with this case. This conviction in one of the charges in New York probably means more jail time for him. Although, as I said, I think there are some probably clear errors in this case that will give rise to what could be a very successful appeal when you look at all of the allegations coming from the jury about intimidation and bullying that's going on. But based on that conviction in Los Angeles, Weinstein is going to be in jail for probably the rest of his life.
And Ariva, how likely is it for a jury to reach a verdict after initially saying that they couldn't come to an agreement?
It does happen, Diane, occasionally, but again, this jury is not your typical jury. You rarely have fights like this spill over into the courtroom, and in this case, into the public. So this jury being forced by this judge to go back in under what's called an Allen charge, which is when a jury tells a judge it cannot reach a decision, and the judge says, go back, keep deliberating, keep trying. But the tensions seem to be so high in this case, not likely that we're going to see a final outcome today.
All right, Ariva Martin, thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Tracy Show. And as you have heard, an update on Harvey Weinstein. In Harvey Weinstein sexual assault retrial, a final R charge ended in mistrial today after the jury foreman refused to return to the jury room because he felt he was threatened by other jurors, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Let's get into this. The judge, Justice Curtis Farber, said the jurors he spoke to didn't understand why the foreman had left, and they didn't describe anything that rose to the level of threats, according to the New York Times. I quote, Sometimes jury deliberations become heated. Farber and Thursday, according to the report. I understand this particular deliberation was more heated than some others. That's unfortunate. The jury was unable to reach a verdict on the alleged R word of former aspiring actress Jessica Mann in a hotel in 2013. Attorneys are now scheduled to meet July 2nd to discuss a new trial date for Weinstein's final charge. The verdicts on Weinstein's two other charges still stand. Weinstein was convicted of one count of first-degree criminal SEX Act for forcing oral SEX on former production assistant Miriam Haley at his apartment in 2006. He was acquitted on a separate criminal SEX Act charge involving Kasia Sokola, a former model who testified that Weinstein actually assaulted her in 2006 when she was just 19 years old. Thursday's mistrial wasn't the first time juror drama rocked the case. Last week, a juror complained to the judge that other jurors were talking about and treating another member of their group unfairly. Behavior he called playground stuff, according to the AP. The jury foreman then complained to the judge Monday that some jurors were trying to sway others by bringing up details from Weinstein's past that were not part of the charges against him, according to the AP. Then on Wednesday, before the verdict was announced, the foreman complained once again about the fighting in the jury room, saying the yelling, including comments directed toward him, made him feel afraid inside there. The decision comes more than a year after Weinstein's 2020 conviction was overturned. In the 2020 trial, Weinstein was found guilty of a first-degree criminal SEX act on Haley and the third-degree RAPE of Mann. But in April of 2024, his conviction was overturned by the New York Court of Appeals, which suggested a retrial because prosecutors had called women to the stand whose accusations were not the basis for the charges. The decision to overturn his conviction was deemed an upset for the Me Too movement, which was supercharged in 2017 after stories from the New York Times and the New Yorker reported that Weinstein had actually abused and harassed women for years. This inspired more women to come forward against the mogul and other powerful men across entertainment. Okay, my older white little ditty friend, let's see what will happen to you. Let's keep going. Weinstein has been imprisoned in New York after receiving a 16-year sentence after a 2022 trial for a separate case in California. In that case, he was convicted of RAPE, forced oral SEX, and actual misconduct. He is appealing that case. I don't know if you'll win that case, Mr. Weinstein, but you let me know your thoughts and opinions of the Weinstein case. And on the way out, please do not forget to like, share, comment, and please subscribe. I am working overtime to bring you up to date on the news. I was a little dittied out today, so I said I'll bring you up to date on some other news. Alrighty? Now go on, subscribe, go. Hit the like button. Do what you're supposed to do. Come on. It's all free, all on me. Just go do it. Go do it. Don't mind Harvey Weinstein looking at you like that. Just do it. Do it. Until the next video, peace.